Hey guys, it's me, Julian Greystoke, and I'm here to talk about a crazy-ass book. So this book, it's called Dark of Night, and I believe it is a companion to the Rot and Ruin series, but for some reason, because I've had Rot and Ruin, that series, on my, TBR for a while, and my library doesn't have it to listen to. But they did have Dark of Night, which is like a novella that's like set in the same universe and has some of the same characters, but you don't really need to have read those other books to enjoy this one. It's very strange. It's very strange that my library would have this available to listen to, but not the original books that it's based upon. But anyway, let's talk about what this thing is, this creature. Dark of Night is the story of worlds in collision. Three heroes who have survived the apocalypse are in a deadly race to save a busload of children from ravenous zombies and ruthless human scavengers. This brand new novella brings together three of New York Times bestseller Jonathan Mayberry's award-winning novel series: Captain Joe Ledger, who's a character from apparently Patient Zero and Code Zero, Officer Desdemona Fox from Dead of Night and Fall of Night, and Rachel L. from Bits and Pieces, a Rot and Ruin novel. They are caught between an endless wave of the living dead and an army of corrupt men who want to enslave the last human survivors. So yeah, it's a zombie book, obviously, and it's set in a universe and with some characters from zombie books by this author, and it is fucking bonkers in a really entertaining way. Hey guys, this is the world's fastest reminder that you can support me on Patreon and see all kinds of exclusive videos like these ones. Now back to your regularly scheduled program. Now let's just talk about the characters, because they are the single most bonkers thing. Like the zombies, the human traffickers, the busload of kids, all of it's fairly standard zombie fare. But the characters in this, so apparently at least the three lead characters are from other books, but again, I didn't feel like I was missing anything with them. I felt like I was given enough in this novella to know about them, about who they were, and they were something, alright. Let's talk first about Captain Joe Ledger from Patient Zero and Code Zero. So he was every grizzled soldier archetype ever. I was an elite soldier who came home from war, only to find that America had destroyed itself with a deadly zombie virus. Now me and my army dog, who's like the special Uber dog who I've been training, are going to become wandering loners trying to help save the world from the zombies. Yeah. He's that guy. He's older, he's hyper competent, he's super deadly, and he has a dog! I love the dog. He was smart enough to put armor on the dog, which I really appreciate. He made the dog armor out of leather and washers, and he frequently himself wears armor made of carpet, because it's very difficult for zombies to bite through. And that's one thing I appreciate about this novella, is the use of armor, because so often in zombie apocalypse stories, people completely forget that you can prevent someone from biting you pretty effectively by wearing something that's bite-proof. But of course that would make many zombie stories a whole lot less fun. Not this one, though. Next we have Officer Desdemona Fox, who I mistook for a teacher for a long time. She was the one I feel like you maybe need to know a little bit better from her previous books, because she was, like, the weakest as far as characterization. I mean, the characterization was all cliches all the time, but hers was, like, the weakest. Like, I didn't get a feel for what she was. Like, I knew Grizzly Army Guy was a Grizzly Army Guy, like, who was gonna win every fight the minute he stepped into the book. But, like, her, I wasn't so sure. For a long time, I actually thought she was a teacher, because she was in this school bus full of kids helping them, and so I thought, oh, teacher, but it turned out she was, like, a small-town cop. A small-town cop who, I must mention, is a expert marksman slash sharpshooter, because you will find that everybody in this book is hyper competent. We don't want none of that struggling for things in this book. These characters are just so good at all of the things that they wish to be good at. Again, this is a novella, so maybe they develop more in their own books, but I kind of feel like this is just who they are. And finally we have Rachel L., who, if I'm remembering correctly, is my favorite. She's a LARPer in the zombie apocalypse. Now, you guys probably have managed to pick up on the fact that I also LARP, live-action role-playing, in a group called Amtgard, and the group that Rachel is from sounded very similar to Amtgard in that they had the weapon's not the person, but we also do require that you wear armor, like actual armor in our game, for it to count as like points of armor in our like strike system, if that makes sense. So she is wearing real armor when the zombie apocalypse happens, and she's surviving quite well, because again, armor. So she and her group of fellow LARPers have managed to like carve out a little niche for themselves, and naturally, because she LARPs, she also just happens to have a collection of battle-ready swords at her house that she just happens to be really, really skilled with. You have to suspend your disbelief a lot with these characters and just be like, oh yeah, sure, they're masters at this, that's fine. Don't question it. And that is what is so bonkers about this book. Like, you are just... It is such an action movie of a book. You're just watching people who are just masters of killing zombies, killing other people, succeeding in the zombie apocalypse, saving the busload of kids. And of course it's still a challenge because there are a lot of zombies, so even hyper-competent people are struggling with it. But like, at the same time, you're like, wow, these people are bonkers. Like, what is going on? This entire book, I had the biggest, dopiest smile on my face because it was just like the cotton candy of zombie books. Like, there's no true substance here, but I was ready to enjoy it all day long, and just, I was laughing my head off sometimes because of how absurd it was, but like absurd in a way that I was so into, especially any time that the LARPer girl was around. Because seriously, she found the busload of kids. Like, the cop had to leave the kids because she wanted to investigate this nearby farm to see if it was like safe to move them from the bus to the farm. And very little mention is made of like how they have enough food in that bus, and like they kind of mention that they're like throwing the waste in buckets outside, but like at the same time, like, how are you surviving in a bus with a bunch of little kids? But anyway, she goes off to check out this farm, and the LARPer stumbles upon the bus and feels the need to protect it, and she, of course, kills a bunch of zombies, looking heroic as fuck while she does it, and she convinces the kids that she is an Amazon from, like, Wonder Woman, because she just, like, showed up in this armor and kicked all the zombie ass, and, like, I was there for it. Like, she's using every one of her LARPing skills. Not only is she using her sword skills, but she's also using her role-playing skills to convince these kids that she's a superhero. And I mean, kids in the middle of a zombie apocalypse probably gonna believe that she is in fact a superhero. It's just, all of it was so over the top. I can't even describe how ridiculous and unbelievable and delightful it was. So if you are tired of zombie books that take themselves so seriously, I mean, this one still takes itself very seriously, but like, as a reader, I don't feel that you can or should. I would definitely advise you check this one out if you just want like the equivalent of a Fast and Furious movie in book form with zombies, essentially. Like, that same mood, that same, I'm just here to have fun and watch things explode. I'm just here to watch people be the best at something. Check out this book. I don't think it will disappoint. Because holy shit, the entire time I was reading it, I was like texting my friends to be like, you won't believe what happened next, OMG. It was so bonkers and very enjoyable. And I hope that I do get my hands on a few other books in this series, because I want to see if they are the same level of just bonkers as this was. But you guys know I love zombie books. I unashamedly love zombie things, and I refuse to stop. I don't care if they're unpopular. Look, I am a zombie hipster. I liked zombies before they were cool, and I still like them now that they're not cool anymore. Anyway, if you liked what you saw here, I have a ton of book reviews, so feel free to check them out. They're all in a nice playlist for you. Binge away. Or I have lots of other videos talking about books and writing here on this channel. I've been doing this for a while, so there's a lot. Or, if that's not enough for you and you want exclusive content that is not seen on this channel, you can check me out on Patreon, where for as little as $1 a month, you can help me make this channel better and get a lot of exclusive content not seen here on the regular channel. But I post new videos right here, Mondays and Fridays. All the links to my social media are in the doobly-doo for ease of your clicking, and I'll see you again next time with whatever it is I happen to be doing next time. Bye! Hello, hello, again. It's time for the shout out. It's time to shout out my patrons: Lennox, Amanda, Irene, Jenny, Joseph, Kim, Lisa, Sabby Panda, Sam, Sarah, Savvy, and Scribbling Cat. As usual, I am still astounded that I have so many amazing patrons supporting me. You guys are the best.